Alright, so we're back in the world of Expedition 33, and today's video, guys, I want to do another Lune build. I know I am obsessed with Lune, but she is my favorite character in the game by quite a large margin. But I really want to try a gradient build. The gradient mechanic is one of the coolest mechanics in the game that I actually don't take advantage of often, and seeing that Lune is sometimes perceived as someone who doesn't deliver a lot of damage, I want to just show off that she can do millions of damage, no problem, and you know, just absolutely destroy the battlefield, being that she is one of the greatest AoE characters in the entire game. Anyway, if you want a Lune build that can deal a lot of damage in a single burst, and this is going to be the perfect build for you, let me show you how to make it. Alright, so now that you guys have a better idea of how the build works, let me go over the setup so you guys can, like, you know how it goes. And for our weapon, we're going to be using the Sapphire. What this does is, whenever you use a gradient attack, it generates additional light stain. Whenever you use a fire stain, like whenever it's generated, you'll get an additional lightning stain. That doesn't really matter. What actually only matters on this weapon is the level 20, which gradient attacks and gradient counters deal 50% more damage. So whenever you use either of those, you're going to just get a lot of damage. The Sapphire can be found in the Falling Leaves. You need to face the scavenger boss. He's pretty straightforward and easy. So yeah, just go get that from him. This has a luck as well as defense scaling, so that's what you're going to scale it with, and then you're going to pump points into might if you want. So that's how I do it, and yeah, it's pretty effective. For our skills, there's only two skills that matter. One is Healing Light. Healing Light is going to be a skill that you use. You're going to basically start with Lune. You're going to use Healing Light just to heal someone. It doesn't really matter anyway at all, because you're just trying to spin AP. It doesn't even matter if they're hurt. It literally doesn't matter. You're just going to spin AP. And then the other skill you're going to be using, and we have to go to the thing because I don't think you can see the gradient from that menu. Learn skills. And that's going to be Skybreaker. It deals extreme damage to all enemies, and it's one hit and it can break. This is going to be based upon the light stain that you have. You'll only have light stain, so it's fine. I don't think there's a light immune enemy in the game. At least I haven't seen one. And yeah, that's really it. This is all that really matters. You just don't want to play anything on her first skill because you want to get the extra damage from some of your Pictos. Now, speaking of Pictos, let's go over her Pictos and passive. What's really important on her is to make sure you have Augmented First Strike. We have Greater Powerful, and then we have Cheater, so she can play multiple turns. When we go into her actual Pictos themselves and the things that are important, we're going to go over those. But let's go ahead and go to active. I'm going to let you guys have it here so you can screenshot it. It'll be much easier that way, so you can kind of go down the list. And I'm going to just talk about a handful of things that really does matter. There's warm up. You're going to skip your turns multiple times and you're going to get extra damage. That's really good. You're going to get auto death and you're going to get survivor. This is going to put you at 1 HP to proc all your other benefits that give you like damage bonuses. Please don't use what's it called? The one. It's not the same. What we're also going to be using is Fueling Break. We're going to be using Gradient Attack. Where is it? Somewhere around here. There's like Gradient Attack we have. You're going to use Gradient Attack. Oh, there you go. Gradient Fighter. And First Strike. But Gradient Fighter is big because you're going to be doing a lot of Gradient Attacks. And you kind of want this to give extra damage. And then you want Shield Affinity with the SOS Shell. And pretty much all the shield synergy stuff. And Midas Res. And you're going to get extra damage whenever you have shielding. And that's kind of what the purpose of the shield stuff is. So that's really all that matters. Get all your DPS stuff. Make sure you have Cheater. And you're pretty much good to go on her. And then, of course, obviously, you want to make sure she has 50% crit at the least. Mine have 100. But 50 at the least would be important so that you can get 100% crit. And you're good to go on her. Now, when it comes to Verso, we're going to go over his skills first. What's important is having Phantom Star. Phantom Star deals extreme light damage to an enemy, 5 hits to all enemies actually, and it can break, and that's what's super important because we want him to break enemies. Everything else is irrelevant because we don't do anything else. So yeah, that's really all that's really important here. Weapon doesn't matter too much. I used the Samosa. This is from what's his name? Simon. This one's good, but I don't think it matters too much which weapon it is. Just get something with good damage scaling. Of course, we want to make sure that he has 100% crit. So 100% crit is super important. And then, so that's what these are for. And I guess the most important things is all the charging and the gradient stuff. So you want Gradient Break you want charging alteration, charging mark, charging critical, charging attack, charging weakness. These are the most important things. And then like things like burning death, of course, like things when you die, apply to them, greater like defenseless, greater weakness, all that stuff. That's secondary. And then shielding death is also really important. Then of course the auto death, second chance, not auto death survivor, auto death second chance, because you want them all the way back. To make sure, I mean, does it really matter? I don't think it matters too much, but I just use auto death second chance. I just bring them back to full life because I want them to do their bit. But yeah, that's pretty much all that matters, and this is going to be the same thing for Sciel. You want pretty much the same stuff. All the charging attack, auto death, second chance, and then you want to make sure that she has 100% crit. She has 164% crit. She has to lit the sun. Did I already talk about this? Probably didn't. She has to lit the sun. This is going to give her greater rush on allies when in the moon phase. Greater slow in the sun phase to enemies, both whenever she's in twilight, and then 3 AP on applying a buff or debuff on enemies or allies. It's just like the best weapon I think she has. We're going to use Force and Fury, which doubles the damage for 1 turn of an ally. The intervention is just going to make the ally play, and it does a lot of AP. And that's really important to spend a lot of AP for this, because that's how Gradient work. For the most part, I think that's really all that matters. We're going to go fight some stuff, and I'm going to just show you how it works in practice, so that you guys can see it perform at the highest. So you can see there, they died, it applied burn, it built up their break bar, and so they're pretty much ready to be broken. So that's kind of the importance of them dying there. And from here, I'm just going to use Healing Light. Don't really matter. Gives us a light stain. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Gives us a light stain. Oh, we can do it again. Why not? Doesn't matter too much as long as we don't attack. So Verso's gonna go. We're gonna skip his turn and go to the next one. This is gonna give us Phantom Stars. And this is going to break them. And it's gonna fill up our gradient charges. Now from here, we're just gonna use Fury on her. And then gonna go right into intervention. Pretty straightforward build. It's not really that hard to do. Now we have our gradient charges. Lune is super warmed up, got a lot of damage. And then we're gonna do her gradient attack of Skybreak. And that should just short of kill everything. And there you go. We did 320 million damage on a single hit. It's a pretty impressive number, if you ask me. But yeah, we do some pretty good damage. I guess if the roulette doesn't proc, this would be a little bit lower. I feel like 320 million is acceptable for any fight at this point in the game. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. I'm going to, I don't know what I want to do with Clear Obscure on the next videos. I know we've been doing a lot of builds that just blow everything up. But let me know if you guys have any ideas of what you guys want to see. Let me know and I'll try to make it. But yeah, I really love making these builds. There's just so many weapon options in the game that's super dope. So thank you guys for watching. As I always say in videos, if you want to leave me a like, that helps me out immensely. You have no clue how much it helps. So leave me a like and subscribe. Got a lot of Clear Obscure coming up, as well as Dune Awakening in like Elden Ring, Night Rain. A lot of games you're probably going to be playing in the next coming months. Feel free to subscribe because I'm going to be making builds and guides and stuff like that. So yeah, support the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.